Hey, my name is Barry. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to try something I've not done before. I don't know if it's called a sew along or what, but basically I'm just going to let the camera roll. I'm going to be sewing with you today. So grab a cup of coffee or what your favorite beverage, get your sewing machine ready, and let's just spend an hour or so together sewing. I've been working on this pattern called Goodnight Irene. Now, Missouri Star Quilt Company was very nice to me, and they said, hey, go pick a pattern that you want and we'll give it to your subscribers. So I picked this pattern. It's called Goodnight Irene. If you'll email me, barryquilts@gmail.com, I will give you a link to go get this pattern for free all the way up only through the month of May. After that, you'll have to buy it. But for the month of May here, while we do this sew along, it's free. So I thought I would do this sew along here. I hate the word sew along, but anyways, I'm going to make this quilt. Last video I made this 4-patch, and after I made that was the first time I had ever made a 4-patch. I was not happy with the way that I made it. So I've decided to redo it. I went out and ordered some more fabric because I was just not happy with it. And my intentions with this is to sew this. I'm going to show you me quilting it. And my intentions was to put it in the Ohio State Fair this year. Do I plan on winning? Not maybe with this pattern, I don't, but it's just fun. It's something to do. So another thing you might, if you've watched me before, is I've sort of switched my angle here so you can see me sewing more. So I've got an overhead shot that I'll show you from me piecing, and then my sewing table here. A couple of things that I've learned. I've been binge watching Lori Holt. So I don't know if you watch her. The big question of the day, and this is what I'm trying to do on this one, is I always pressed my seams, either to the dark side or whatever. At least I pressed them over. On this quilt, I've decided for the most part, I'm going to press my seams open. And I'll tell you why, because I like I said, I've been binge watching Lori Holt. I redid these 16 patches, and these points are almost dead on. I surprised myself with how good. These are the only two I've done with me starting over. But these points have been right on. So if it takes me pressing them open to get my points on point, I'm going to do it. So enough of that. Oh, one other thing here. You might notice this thing here. I bought this the other day. It's a magnifying glass because I've been trying to start doing more applique, and I wanted to see my stitches really good. So I bought that. Whether that stays, I don't know. But basically here we've got, I've laid out all my blocks. These are 2.5 inch, and I went red, blue, red, whatever was in that pattern, bluish. So I'm just going to sew 2 of these together all the way through here. And let's just have a little chat. I've never, like I said, most of my videos are always me trying to show something or do something, but I thought, man, why don't we just sew today, unless I get interrupted by a dog. I've been busy this past week. My grandson, like I said, he moved in with me about 4 months ago because my daughter moved and he wanted to stay in the same school district. So he's been staying with me, and he graduates this week. So it's been crazy with graduation. He's got his dog here, and my dog, Steve, does not like it at all. So it's just been something. Now, supposedly, knock on wood here, my grandson's moving back in with my daughter after he graduates this week, because I'll be done driving him back and forth to school. I get my life back. And I got big plans, and I want to take you along with them. One is I would like to go visit Missouri Star Quilt Company, so I thought maybe we could do a whirlwind tour together. Trip. If you've ever been there, let me know if there's anything that I should be looking out for. I also thought on the way, I'm a big fan of Angela Walters, if you're familiar with her. I noticed that's right on the way, so I thought, well, I'll stop there. And, you know, I'm going to be coming from Ohio, so if there's any spots along the way that you think that I should stop at, I just want to make this a big old road trip. Yeah, it just seemed like here lately when I've been pressing, let me start my iron. When I've been pressing my seams open, I don't know. I guess everybody could be different, but I'm really happy. Now, there's people will tell you that pressing your seams open doesn't give you very good integrity. I guess that's the word, but I think maybe once I quilt it down, they'd be fine. I know there's people that are probably really set in their ways that you always got to press to one side or another. And there's other ones that say pressing seams open. I figured if it's good enough for Lori Holt, it was good enough for me. That's my thought. But let's see here. And I don't have fingernails, so I got my trusty little awl that's been helping me get them open. So let's, and I'm trying to learn to just press, not iron, you know, to distort your fabric. Now, whether this little thing here does any good, I do not know. But it came in a set, and it's cute. I have found out, though, that if you do everything like an assembly line, it goes easier and quicker. Ooh. Come on. So let's see what this does. And I haven't starched these, so let me know your thoughts about that. Do you starch your fabrics ahead of time? Or do you even starch at all? You know? Let's go. This is the way that was. Okay, next. And I moved my iron over here to a little stand this morning, and I'm hoping that helps me get that iron off of my table. I'm learning. I've learned one lesson. Don't have any other projects on your table except for the one you're working on. It just makes it so much nicer to not have more than one project on your table at a time. So yeah, I thought I would do this one. You know, the fair deadline is coming up. I got till June, around the 19th, to enter the fair, but I don't have to drop this quilt off until the 15th of July. So we still got a month and a half. And I figure this quilt is about 21 of these blocks. Even if I did, oh, and Lori Holt usually uses like a clapper. I don't know if that works or not. Maybe, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll put these up here. And while that one's setting, we'll work on the next set. But anyway, so I got, if I did 21 blocks in 21 days, I'd still have enough time. But I plan on doing more than one block a day. I think I could probably do half of the quilt in a day, actually, and be accurate. Once you get the hang of this pattern ain't that. It looks harder than it is. Like I said, I learned my lesson to make sure that I get my points. Because if you don't get your points good on this, to me, if you're just making it for yourself, the way I did it before is fine. It's good enough. But if I was going to put it in a quilt show, I didn't think it was. So, there. I've been working on some applique. I'm sort of liking to do that now. That seems to be fun. Let's start sewing a couple of these together. So, I'll put the blue against the red. And what I like about it now that I'm pressing these open, it gives me a wider surface area to line up. And I can line these up, my points, and they should be pretty accurate. Now I'm hoping that I just don't eat my words after this. That's pretty good. I mean, you'd have to take a microscope to find if that's off, so I'm happy with that. Oh. I like it. So let's set these off for a second and let's press these. So yeah, I've basically in the last week have changed my whole style of sewing to accommodate this with using things like this and my awl, but I feel like I'm getting more precision this way. Have I said that 5 times already? And I might need some more clappers. I only got one. Doing this, though, is actually more relaxing, where I don't have a set agenda or something that I've got to show you. It's just me and you. I've got a dad joke. It's not probably that funny, but why was the rooster afraid? Because he was chicken. Yeah. I got a lot of big things coming up, though, that I want to do. I mean, we're just getting started here. So I hope, if you've never subscribed, that you know, if you're still here, if I haven't lost you, I'm hoping to, this is just the beginning. I'm finally feeling like I've learned some of pretty much the basics here. As soon as I say that, I learn something new every day. But I just feel like I'm now just starting to come into a pattern of being comfortable, of sewing. So I spent the first year basically just learning and practicing. And now I feel like now I can concentrate on a direction that I might want to go. Let's make sure we get these. I guess it don't matter as long as you make sure these are the right way. All right, those two will go there, those will go there. Another thing I figured out, do you know that I think matching my fabric, after I cut all these out, matching my fabric takes longer than actually sitting here sewing them. That one sewed over a little bit. Didn't have my awl. Let's see how it showed up. I'm happy with it though. Yeah, when I was watching this the other night, and I was like, let me give that a whirl. And it's like day and night. So if you've not tried to press your seams open, you might give it a try. See if it helps with your points if you have a problem. I know I don't really have a problem with it, but I've never made a 4-patch before. And you can get away with some of that stuff when you're doing half square triangles and stuff. But this 4-patch, and then when you do the 16-patch, then it really shows. Now, let me see if I got it here. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna knock everything off. I bought some of this paper the other day. If you're not familiar with it, I don't know if it's paper, but anyways, it's fusible applique. Comes in I got this one with 1-inch squares on it. And you can put your fabric on here and then sew this if you want to get really good points. But I've opted to try to go without having to use that and see what it did. Yeah, so if I could go to Missouri Star this here in the next couple of months, I'd like to go. I don't know if there's any specific days that are good to go, but I'd like to go. I'd like to also do the Route 66, but here's my dilemma. My dilemma is Steve. Steve's my dog. I figure if I'm going to do Route 66, that is probably at least a 2-week trip. And I've never taken Steve anywhere like that. And for me to take him 2,500 miles, and then what are you going to do if you want to go see something? You know, you got your dog to deal with. So my son will watch him. I don't know. That's awful lot to ask anybody to watch a dog for a month, for 3 weeks. Ooh, that one, I don't like it. I mean, it's close, but if I'm going to put this into the fair, I don't like it. Come on. I still want to get better at seam ripping. I'm a hacker. Put my finger right there. And I've got a foot cutter, a thread cutter, but I just don't feel like using it today. That's better. That's better. So what else are you doing? Is there any big plans for the summer? Any quilt shows that I should know about? I know I've got the AQS one in Columbus, Ohio I'm going to go to. That's the big one. There's I think it's the Northeast, is it the Northeast Ohio Quilt Show? I think it's in Ashland, Ohio. I think that one's in June or July. I'm going to try to hit that one. There's the Circleville, Ohio Quilt Show. I'm going to try to hit again. Ah, that looks good. I need to get me a chair that rolls better. This is a good gaming chair, but it's not necessarily the best chair. But yeah, I'm finally oh, I tell you what, something else that I'm going to do. And I almost bought it the other day. I'm buying a he shed. I'm going to move this and my long arm out to a shed. It's going to be air conditioned. I'm going to have an air conditioned shed with electric. Me being an electrician helps on that. And I'm going to move everything out to there. Um, what do you think? What's your thoughts on that? Do you have a dedicated spot like that to sew, or maybe there's something I should know about it not to do? Now here I think I'm going to use some pins because it's pretty wide across. But I thought I was going to build one because I've built sheds before. But then I was looking, I'm going to get a 10 by 20 is what I'm thinking about getting. If I get a 10 by 20 shed, that long arm is 12 foot long. That would give me about 8 foot left, roughly, which is about the size of this room. But I'll have everything out there together. It frees up 2 bedrooms. And like I said, I thought about building it, but I was pricing around. I can buy from one of these shed companies, not the big box companies, because I've looked at their sheds and I don't like them. But I saw them as cheap as like $5,000. And if you was to go buy the material to build a shed, you're looking at probably $3,000, maybe more. So for the time and the hassle, I've just decided I'm going to buy it. Now, I'm remodeling my kitchen. That's another reason why I haven't been posting every couple days, is because I'm remodeling my kitchen. And my kitchen takes priority because right now my kitchen is gutted. I have no kitchen. And okay, here we go. Moment of truth. You know what? There's this one little section right here. I'm sorry. I know I'm being sort of anal about this, but I just want it to be right. And I know I'm not doing this the best way. Put my finger right there. I don't know if it's much better than the first time, but you know what? I tried. So you can at least say I tried. Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on with me right now. Got the kitchen tore apart. My grandson's having a teenager living back with me here lately has been something. My big goal in life, and I thought this is where quilting fits really good, is my goal is I like to travel. So I thought this is the greatest hobby. And let me get in with that is if even if you don't quilt, have something that brings you joy, something that you get up in the morning and that you can't wait to do. I think that everybody should have that. I didn't know what mine was for years until I started this. But here, let's look. I'll let you look over there. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. So there's three. There's three. What do we got? 18 more to go. What was I talking about? Oh, it's just something, having something to do. Oh, traveling. I love to travel. So I found out that there's quilt shows and there's fabric shops all everywhere in the U.S. or in the country and Canada and Europe. And I'm not forgetting about Australia or New Zealand. I just plan on traveling, doing a lot of traveling, doing a lot of quilting, making quilts for the quilt shows, charity work. Speaking of charity work, I got the second quilt is going to go on eBay on this Sunday. I'm going to put it on, it's done. I'm going to put it on eBay for auction Sunday. And it'll run a week till the next Sunday. And I've got the rest of them up. I've got three tops done. Well, one's already been sold. One's getting ready to be auctioned. One is getting ready to be quilted. So I've got two more here. I need to hurry up and piece. But yeah, I'm going to start doing more quilts for charity. I think I'm even getting a little bit brave enough to want to. I've got a whole bunch of panels I bought. I bought a whole bunch of panels, and I thought I'm going to practice on my borders for the panels. And I might put them on Etsy or on my website for sale just for giggles, along with making quilts for charity. I think you can do both. I know one thing, I've got about 5 quilts that I need to long arm, and I'm gonna get that long arm up and running. And I'll tell you the thing that's holding me back from doing that is I want to make sure that my stitches are, my tension is perfect. I've always had problems with my tension, I haven't fooled around with it enough. I guess that's my problem. But if I get that tension set on that long arm, I'm just going to be a long arm and fool. And I'd like to show you that too. I actually bought a camera for it the other day, so you can do close-up shots of the quilting as it's going on. I did that for you, by the way. It's not all about me. Come on. Now, tell me this. I've seen where they put that piece of fabric in there after each cut. And I don't know, I've been trying to think about this. Why do I need to do that? Because I've got an automatic stitch cutter. I've got my knee bar right here. I don't know if you can see that, but I can lift my presser foot up without even touching it. I'm finding a hard reason. See, I don't even need to touch anything. And I've just cut my thread and lifted my presser foot. I'm hard pressed. I cracked myself up. I'm hard pressed to figure out why I need to put a piece of fabric underneath there. I can understand if you're doing it on a machine that doesn't have a thread cutter and it saves time from having to snip it every time. But I've got a thread cutter. And I've got a knee bar to lift it up. Would I recommend my Juki? Yes. I love that machine, especially for piecing. The only thing that I don't like about it is the fact that it doesn't zigzag. But I have another machine that does it, although I'm not happy with that machine. If I could get me a sewing machine, if this thing did a zigzag stitch and a blanket stitch, I'd never need anything else. But if you want a machine that is dependable, that talk about tension, it's set it and forget it. I don't think I hardly ever have had to deal with the tension with that machine. And if you don't like this type of video, let me know, because I know I'm just rambling today, but that's what happens when you don't edit. This is the real deal. I thought about going live doing these. I don't know. I'm still not used to doing lives. They're a little bit tricky to get the camera set up. I got some zippers in today. I'm going to try to start learn to make some bags. Because I thought, boy, if I could make some bags, I could start putting a lot of my projects in their own little bags. And I could have just bags laying around everywhere. So I've been watching a ton of tutorials on zipper bags. All right, let's see what we got here. I think we'll do one more of these and we'll call it a day. We'll just see how this goes and if you can hack it or not. I'll recap for you though. I was not happy. I'm gonna beat a dead horse with this, but I was not happy with the way I did in the last. Matter of fact, I was so unhappy with it. I thought about deleting it because I don't want people to, but you might be able to do really good doing that method. That's why I left it. I was like, well, maybe there's some people could perfect that method of making 4 patches, and I know Jenny Doan does. She does really good at it, but I didn't like the way mine was turning out, so I opted to go with this route, and I'm happier for it. Now, there's probably other ways to make 4 patches or 16 patches, but I'm not in a hurry, and this is relaxing. I get to spend time with you. Boom. All right, let's do these 2. Deja vu. Did you ever watch that documentary on Netflix about those guys in prison quilting? I watched it, and it was pretty, what do you say, it was pretty, let's see how that did. Okay, we're all right. We're not going to mess with that one. Inspiring, I guess. Here's the bad part was, I guess if I ever committed a crime, make sure that they send me there. Where my only job all day, I don't know. If I had to quilt for a living, I'd probably hate it. But when I can quilt whenever I want to and make whatever I want. But I'm sort of jealous of those guys. The fact that, they have a bunch of other people to talk to. Not happy with it. The other people that they can sew with all day long. And I know you and me, got to be careful of getting into a place of where you could turn this room right here into a prison cell. So that's not good. So you need to get out. That's why I'm always big about going out and making memories, because it's one thing to have a hobby, something that you enjoy doing, but don't seclude yourself so much that you don't get out and enjoy life. That's what I said. That's why quilt shows are great. Going to fabric stores. Just get out. Don't make your sewing room your prison cell. I know I've got these curtains closed right now, but open up your curtains. Let the sunshine in. Come on, be there, be there, be there. Yes. Forgot where I was at. There's that one. There's that one. Yeah, but it's sad in my situations when you're actually jealous of some guys in prison sewing. I would have never thought that 2 years ago. Let's see. If I do it again, you're going to think something's wrong with me, but I'm going to. I know I could pin this. I can hear you saying it now. I don't think if I pinned it, I would have got it any better. Come on. I'm supposed to go with some friends to sew along this weekend for making items for charity. I thought that sounded like something fun to do and a good cause. Okay, I'm going to put my finger right there on that. So that's tomorrow. Man, I forgot that's coming so fast. Oh, perfect. Awesomeness. And I know there's a lot of ladies that told me that their husbands watch. And I don't know what's keeping them from quilting. Especially if you're my age. Oh, there went that. There's nothing wrong with men quilting. And if there is, I'm at the age now where I don't care. So if there's any guys out there watching and you're on the fence, just jump in and at least start trimming up or cutting patterns out or something, cutting out shapes. That's a slippery slope. One day you're cutting out shapes, the next thing you know, you're buying a long arm. Ask me how I know. And I've got some friends on here that have started YouTube channels. I say, if you're not shy of the camera, go ahead. Why not? I enjoy making the videos. I'm not necessarily the best at it, but I enjoy doing it. And if you think you might enjoy it, I say do it. It don't, everybody's got a cell phone. There's no fancy equipment needed. This overhead shot that I've got here is on a cell phone. And a lot of my videos were cell phones, so cell phones perfectly fine. Today, in today's age, these new cell phones are actually better than some of the cameras I used to own back in the day that I paid $800, $900 for. All right, there, it's it. All right. Also, if you've never sent in a button yet, send in a button. I've got a couple here ready to go. I try to make sure I get at least 5 or 6 before I do a button video. I did get one in Paducah from Kevin from Ken's Sewing Center. So now I've got Amber there. She's a member of the Button Club. I've got Kevin and his brother, both of Ken's Sewing Center, are now all members of the Memory Makers Button Club. How's that? Ain't that fun? And it's just for fun, you know. And I've got some things coming up with that. I've got a certificate that I've made, and I've got to make it edible, where it's sort of a certificate saying you're a member of the Memory Makers Button Club. And I just need to make it edible so that people can download it and insert their name and print them out. Like I said, just for fun. You don't have to do it, but I'm liking this little setup here with my iron off to the side now instead of up on this table. Because it usually sits right here and it's always in my way. And now it's on this little rolling cart where I can roll it out of the way when I'm not using it. And I got my starch and spray bottle there too. We are almost done. We're at 53, right around 53 minutes. We're not done yet. We're close. Let me know your thoughts on these clappers. If you think they're worth it, I might get another one. At least another one, so I can have a couple. Ooh. Methinks me hear my stomach growl. All right, we got some pins, or clips. I love my Wonder clips. Okay. Come on. All right, this is the big finale here. So make sure you, like I said, email me. I've given out several hundred, maybe 300 of those patterns so far. So email me at berryquilts@gmail.com. Through the month of May here, they're free. You can just go to Missouri Star Quilt Company and download it. And the good thing about it is it's in their digital library, so you'll always have access to it, that, you know, through their library. All right. This is the moment of truth. I was very happy with it till I got to this first one here. All right, you're going to see me do it one more time. You're going to see me do it one more time because I've just got to do it. And the only reason I'm doing this, like I said, is because I'm going to put it in a fair. If it wasn't for that, this would be fine. But it won't take me but a second to do this. That's better. Not perfect, but it's better. Oops. Come on. There. All right. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can see it better right there. I'm happy with it. I might trim these up here a little bit. But other than that, that's 4. 4 down, 17 to go. So we'll just start a little pile there. I'm going to, before also, I started piecing this together before I got them all done. I was just trying to show you what I was doing, but I've decided not to do that and just get them all done and then we'll piece them. That way we can lay it out, and if we need to change things around, we will. But anyways, thanks for sticking with me. I hope you did. Like I said, let me know what your thoughts are on this. This may be the first and the last time I do it. I just thought I would give it a try. And this is the real me. This is the real mistakes that I make. I make a lot of them. So comment below what your thoughts are. I always say go out and make memories, because after your health, memories are what's most important in life. So go out and make some memories, and I will see you later. Bye.